One day, Sephiroth was doing research on his past when he came across a music video called After the Rain, showing a couple of twin brothers with long hair who he thought looked like Barbie. He noticed that one of them was dressed a lot like him, which led him to believe that he was in a rock band that looked like a hair band equivalent to Vanilla Ice. He was humiliated watching this video footage. He was so humiliated that he had to find something to do to redeem himself. So he decided to form a band that would blow Nelson's music out of the water. Switch. Your turn.
Well, of course, being the Mama's Boy he is, he called the band Mama's Boys. And he went out in the world and started playing his music, but nobody really liked it that much. But, hell, he was pretty, so people came.
Switch.
So, Sephiroth had a really good idea. He let his hair down, and with a whoosh, he started humming a catchy tune. Da 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 da. And everyone in the audience is spellbounded, especially one guy with spiky yellow hair.
Switch.
Who then decided to form an obsessive fan club and mob him and was promptly had his head chopped off.
Keep going.
And then
Story. Die. Okay, your turn.
Alright, so thankfully though, you can't just kill off yellow-haired spiky people. People with spiky yellow hair, that sounds much better there. No, of course not, because there was this lovely little girl in the crowd who was wearing almost all pink and looked entirely ridiculous. But I guess everybody loves her. And being the wonderful person she is, she went, "No, Cloud, don't die!" And so then she threw down this plucked feather from a poor bird which just wanted to burn in flames. And he arose from the ashes and he started clucking like a chocobo.
Switch.
Then he realized, Sephiroth realized that he really likes killing people. He likes it more than making music, and so instead of making a rival band, he decided he'd just kill the first band. But this spiky yellow-haired person didn't seem to want to die. So he had to remedy this. So Sephiroth thought, and pondered, and maybe went up to some crater way up north to think more. But this didn't really solve anything. While he sat there, the world changed. And Nelson eventually disbanded because they're a crappy band. And the world was better for it.
Switch.
Now, Sephiroth had no interest in music. Actually, he had a lot, but not the normal instruments. At his next concert, he chopped everyone's heads off and used them as drums.
Oh, switch. Oh, and anyone who can come up with a clever way to reference an artist by the name of Zamfir will get a prize. Okay, your turn. Oh yeah, I forgot you died. Yes, your turn.
And while he found that drumming on people's dead corpses was entirely invigorating, he realized that he needed a more wind sound for he liked the industrial funk, 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 or the great kastab sounds that he could make. But his sword was a little too long, he found, and he was starting to feel like he was making a kebab. So instead, he grabbed the dead corpses and held the throat up to him, and everybody goes, "Are you a vampire now, Sephiroth?" And he goes, "No, I'm going to play the windpipe."
Switch.
Cool question. What's Zamfir?
He's a musician that's really bizarre.
So he made the news all around the world. And some of the more bizarre artists started flocking to him, like Zamfir.
Okay, take something out of any of these bags of your choice.
Sweet.
What's the next surprise?
You'll find out.
Wait, you can just have chocolate surprise.
Okay, keep going.
And so he became a world-famous indie artist, who is also a mass murderer. So he was still brooding. He eventually killed off his bandmates, and now he didn't have anyone to play with, and not many people came to his concerts anymore because, you know, TV and the whole getting killed. So he's running out of material quickly. So he started thinking of new material, and he asked his mom, but of course she's dead.
Switch.
So he's still...
Yeah, since she's dead, he went to his dad, who's also dead. So he had a nice little crying scene in front of a gravestone, and then came up with a revelation. He took a shaver out of his head, and all of a sudden he looked a lot like Britney Spears.
Switch.
Thankfully for him, though, there weren't any of those nasty paparazzi around. Nazi paparazzi, they're even worse. So, while looking like Britney Spears, he quickly got himself strung out on drugs. These wonderful little things called elixirs. Oh yes, many elixirs. And then, while amazingly high and only mostly impaired in his judgment, he went and he found that spiky-haired boy. He had remembered how interestingly he died the first time, and he wanted to make him suffer for coming back.
Switch.
However, because of Sephiroth's recent elixir addiction, the price of elixir skyrocketed. And then there formed elixir slave markets, where people, little children, spent hours toiling away making elixirs. When Sephiroth learned of this, he just had to kill more people.
Switch.
And so he went up to Aerith and put his sword through her neck, or whatever place it was. I don't remember. Oh, okay.
It's a really big neck.
It just like goes from here to here, around there.
Okay.
So then he went around, and it must have been a few games later, because then he found a girl named Yuna, and off with her head just as much. So it was Final Fantasy X all of a sudden, and he had to make really annoying music in the opening scene.
Switch.
But he found that there was something worth living for in Final Fantasy X. There were boobs. Big, bouncy boobs. Mostly out of somebody's outfit. And he looked at all those belts and, well, he thought many, many things. But mostly he thought, can I use some of those for my new J-Rock outfit?
Switch.
And so Sephiroth found a new thing to live for. Found a new love of music, and less of a love of killing random people, especially women. But he still loved killing men, so it's okay. And though he missed killing that spiky-haired, yellow spiky-haired dude that wouldn't seem to die ever, no matter how many times he stabbed him, even though that girl died in one hit, no matter what. But he started finding new ways to make music without killing people.
Switch.
Instead of killing people, he turned them into frogs. And with these frogs, he just threw them around and said, ribbit, ribbit. It was the new hit single on iTunes. It went all the way up to number 6,072. And so, next, Sephiroth was kind of sad because his song was even below the infamous Rickroll.
Switch. Pick a clever way to end the story.
So Sephiroth sat, and he sat, and he sat, and he realized that maybe music wasn't really what he should do with his life. So he decided instead he was just going to grow one huge wing, wrap it around himself, and disappear to make people think that he was nothing more than a memory of the G.
Awesome.